The following program is the work of the broadcast students at the British Columbia Institute of Technology. BCIT Magazine features news stories from around the Lower Mainland, which were produced over the last week. Responsibility for the content of the show rests completely with the students and their instructors.
Coming up on BCIT Magazine, residents ring in the Chinese New Year despite concerns about the coronavirus.
Basketball players remembered Kobe Bryant on and off the court.
And Canucks fans are celebrating the team's success. Good afternoon and welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Dylan Grant.
And I'm Nikhil Velji. This past weekend was the Lunar New Year, overshadowed by the Wuhan coronavirus. Our reporter Kenneth Pittman shows us this didn't stop the celebration.
Meet Dixon. He owns Bamboo Village in Vancouver's Chinatown. He's in a happy mood, and he's not alone.
What makes everything happy, right? Yeah. I come here to entertain everybody.
Dixon, along with hundreds of other people, took to the streets of Vancouver's Chinatown neighborhood to ring in the new year. The celebration saw dragons, martial arts, and firecrackers. Though it was a celebratory time, a dark cloud hung over the parade. For the past month, the Wuhan coronavirus has been plaguing people all over the world.
We know that there are more than 1,000 confirmed cases globally, more than 95% of those in mainland China, and about 2/3 of them from the province of Hubei, which is where Wuhan City is located.
Across Canada, there are 3 confirmed cases, with 1 in British Columbia. The coronavirus forced some cancellations during the Lunar New Year celebrations over the weekend. But not in Vancouver. The party must go on. And while people had all reason to stay home, Dixon was there to lift the mood.
That's what I'm here for, right? Yeah, to make everybody happy. Yeah, New Year, everything happy, right?
Kenneth Pittman in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
Our reporter Kenneth Pittman joins us now. Kenneth, can you tell us a little bit more about the first case in BC?
Well, Nikhil, on Tuesday, the BC Centre for Disease Control actually confirmed the first case of coronavirus here in BC. A 40-year-old man presented with some flu-like symptoms after a recent trip to Wuhan. He isolated himself in his house and is now seeking help from BC health officials.
Kenneth, can you tell us about the other 2 cases in Canada?
The first 2 official cases of the coronavirus here in Canada are a couple from Toronto. They just returned home from a trip from Wuhan. The husband was presenting flu-like symptoms on the flight home, and he checked himself into a local hospital. On Wednesday morning, health officials also confirmed that his wife, too, has the coronavirus, and they are both being treated. Back to you.
Thanks, Kenneth.
On the heels of BC's first confirmed case of the coronavirus, Dr. Bonnie Henry, the provincial health officer, says there's no cause for alarm.
No risk that we're aware of outside, for example, where these droplets will fall off quickly. But the droplets can fall off and people can touch them and get them on their hands. As you can imagine, that's much less efficient. But if you actually rubbed your eyes.
One way the public can avoid getting sick is through frequently washing your hands.
A local basketball player is honoring Kobe Bryant by continuing to wear his jersey number. My co-anchor Dylan Grant has a story.
Third-year SFU student Drew Bryson wears the number 24 in honor of Kobe Bryant.
I wore number 24 from 4th grade on, and I don't think I've had another number. It's just always fallen in my lap, and it's been something I'm proud to wear.
One of Bryson's teammates knows the competitive nature that Kobe had. He will now enlist it in himself.
Show that you can outwork anyone, that you can compete till you're bleeding, until you can't go no more, and really just trying to have that Kobe mentality.
Kobe, his daughter Gianna, and 7 others tragically lost their lives in a helicopter crash on Sunday morning in Calabasas, California. From the SFU coach to the NBA, fellow players share their thoughts on Kobe.
You got a chance to really know Kobe. Ain't nobody better, man.
He was a competitor that goes unmatched.
Back in the SFU gym, Bryson gives his thoughts on Kobe's sudden death.
It was hard to believe because Kobe was one of those invincible figures for me. Like, I just felt like he was superhuman. Like, nothing could ever happen to him.
Kobe Bryant was an international superstar. He was only 41 years old. His legacy will live on in players like Bryson who wear his number to honor him. Dylan Grant in Burnaby for BCIT Magazine. The Vancouver Canucks are in first place in the Pacific Division, and every time they win, local businesses see an increase in their bottom line. My co-anchor, Nikhil Velji, has the story.
Hockey fever is back in Vancouver.
I would say the same-store sales on the jersey side is like up probably a good 50 to 100%.
And for this local sports shop, Canucks merchandise is flying off the shelves.
Canucks were at the bottom of the standings and not having very exciting style of play. It definitely gets reflected in the bottom line, right?
With transcending level talents like Elias Pettersson and Quinn Hughes, star power is driving this local business.
We've sold out multiple times and we can't get any more from distributors. So it's been a super popular item and people are disappointed when they come and they can't get what they want.
The Canucks are first in the Pacific Division and we're here at Rogers Arena to see what the buzz is like on the streets of Vancouver.
I was actually really excited. I'm really excited to see what they do now for the rest of the season. I was on the bandwagon on their playoff run, and now I'm back on it.
Just all the young players, Pettersson, Besser, Hughes.
Even former Canucks defenseman Jarke Lume is optimistic about the team.
No, it looks good. Yeah, the way they're playing right now, if they can keep it up, anything is possible.
With more Canucks fans heading downtown to watch the games, restaurants around Rogers Arena are also seeing an increase in business.
We get about a 15% increase in the amount of reservations reserved regularly as opposed to people who just originally walked in and tried to go to the game. So now we have reservation policies put in place due to the fact that Canucks track so much business.
As long as the Canucks are winning, so are local businesses in the Lower Mainland. Nikhil Velji in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
Football fans rejoice. The San Francisco 49ers are facing the Kansas City Chiefs this Sunday in Super Bowl 54.
Coming up after the break, LNG protesters take their message to Vancouver City Hall.
And a senior theater group proves you're never too old to fall in love.
Welcome to BCIT's Community Calendar. I'm Hannah Lalonde.
And I'm Marwa Elgabri.
BCIT students are always looking for ways to unwind.
And there's no better way to do that than getting active. Or watching people get active.
So, if you're wanting to head over to a basketball game, BCIT students can go to the UBC War Memorial Gym, where the UBC Thunderbirds are playing against the Winnipeg Westmen on February 7th.
Or, if you're looking to relax, head on down to the Wellness Show in Vancouver, February 1st or February 2nd. You'll find fitness seminars, health products, and coaches all under one roof. Wow, this workout is really making me work up an appetite.
Me too, Marwa. If you're in the mood for food, you can head over to the Vancouver Art Gallery where the annual Street Food Festival is being held from January 31st to February 9th.
That was a good workout, Hannah.
Sure was, Marwa. So, where to next?
I'm thinking street food.
I'd say that we've earned it.
That's your community calendar. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Welcome back to BCIT Magazine. A group of students walked out of class this week to show support for the Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs. Our reporter Luke McGraw tells us why.
Hundreds of students walked out of school to join a number of Indigenous activists in support of the Wet'suwet'en First Nation.
It's your tax dollars that go into their pockets.
This comes less than a week after 12 Wet'suwet'en supporters, including Siam Hamilton, were arrested in Victoria outside of the offices of the Ministry of Energy.
When Wet'suwet'en land is under attack, what do we do?
Actions like this continue to take place as Indigenous activists stand with the Wet'suwet'en First Nation against Coastal GasLink's LNG pipeline.
We're not protesters, we're land defenders, water protectors, we're people of this land and people of the nations.
It's really important now to stop the pipeline and to stop any attempt to forcibly remove the Wet'suwet'en people from their territory, and especially to ensure that no force is used.
In a statement released on Monday, Coastal GasLink says that they are reiterating their request to meet and engage with the Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs, and that their first priority is to find a peaceful resolution to the issues at hand and to avoid enforcement of the injunction granted by the courts. But these activists plan to continue fighting against the pipeline, and seeing how many people came out in support brings them hope for the future.
It's actually fulfilling a prophecy that Indigenous peoples have, that all people, all walks of life are going to come together and to defend Mother Earth.
Luke McGraw in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
Our reporter Luke McGraw joins us now. Luke, has the BC government responded to the Wet'suwet'en First Nation?
Well, Dylan, a liaison has actually been appointed between the Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs and the BC government, the RCMP, as well as Coastal GasLink. And the person that's been appointed is Nathan Cullen, who is the former member of parliament for the Skeena-Bulky Valley riding. Dylan?
And what is expected of Nathan Cullen during this dispute?
Cullen is expected to serve as an intermediary between all parties involved and try and de-escalate some of the conflict at hand and hopefully find a solution that can serve all parties well. Back to you, Dylan.
With Valentine's Day around the corner, a local seniors group is putting on a play. The topic? Finding love online. Nick Empey has the details.
If you want indecent, you'd have to play the part of Rick.
That would be a change for you, Rick.
While many seniors might be playing bridge, these Burnaby seniors are part of a group called What a Theater.
What a Theater is a readers' theater program. What a Theater stands for wannabes, has-beens, and thespians all. You know, as you get older particularly, we don't want to take a chance that we're not going to remember our lines, but we still perhaps want to act, so this is a great opportunity to do that.
The group has been acting for over 3 years, but for many members, it's more than just a performance.
Except webs that don't work.
That we come here to have fun. We come here to play and to laugh. Especially as you get older, sometimes life sends us some hard things, and you need to have a time to take that time just to laugh about life.
Everybody's got a little ham in them, I think, you know. A lot of people just don't let it out, and here we can sort of let it out.
I don't know, I guess I just like to be a show-off, I guess.
The play is about seniors finding love online, but the actors are finding a love of theater instead.
I really am happy here. I really am. I've met some great people.
Quick, get to the other table.
At our age, there's always more women than men at these events. For me, that's another benefit. The gender balance works in my favor.
We understand this is for enjoyment. It's not, the final product is okay, you know, but we're not worried about that. We're worried about being a group and supporting each other.
The play runs on Valentine's Day at the Cameron Senior Center, and there's no cost to attend.
I always enjoy it when my kids and grandkids come out. They're always surprised to see what the old guy's doing. So if you get a chance to go out, see older relatives doing this sort of thing, do it.
Just tell wild stories about their youth.
Nobody will consider it strange. They will consider
Nick
them
Campy in
very
Burnaby for
interesting.
BCIT Magazine.
Speaking of actors, the Oscars are approaching on February 9th, when the Academy will celebrate this past year's best films.
If you have any questions regarding this show, you can contact us at bcit-broadcast.com or bcitnews.com. That's your BCIT Magazine for this week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dylan Grant.
And I'm Nikhil Velji.